What's up, what's going on, legends? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm bringing you guys the White Lotus Tier 2 mission guide for Season 2. This, of course, consists of 7 total missions. Out of the first 6, you will need to complete 5 in order to unlock the final mission. And once you complete the final mission, you will unlock Tier 3 for the White Lotus faction. But before I dive into it, if you guys do enjoy this content anytime or find this video helpful in any way, make sure to show your support for the channel by going down below and smashing that like button. Let's go ahead and throw an easy goal of 100 likes on today's video, as well as if you guys like to find your way back to the channel for more Call of Duty content, make sure you guys do hit that subscribe button alongside that notification bell so we don't miss you in future videos. All right, first up, we have Break Check. This one is going to be a 3-parter. Part 1 is asking you to locate the car crash site near the observatory. So you're going to head over to Zaya Observatory. You're going to want to be on the side closest to the Oktar village. There are 2 cars involved. One's located at the top near the buildings. The other one slid off the cliff and has fallen on the road down below. Both of them are on fire and smoking, so it should be pretty hard for you to miss them. But basically, just get in the vicinity of these vehicles or the car crash itself, and this part will be complete. Part 2 is asking you to find and extract the hard drive near the crash site. Now, the real unfortunate part about this is I'm pretty sure it only spawns once per match, so if you happen to get into a match where other people are working on this mission and they get there before you, you will not be able to get it in that specific run. You'll have to wait till another one, and hopefully you get there first. But the location of the hard drive itself is going to be on the vehicle that has fallen off the cliff. The vehicle is upside down. It has a piece of wood that kind of sticks out on one side, and the hard drive will be located on that piece of wood. I will, of course, show you guys this location on the map. But once you get this hard drive in your possession, you're going to want to exfil safely. Definitely recommend taking a hostage rescue if there's one available. That way you make sure you make it out. Once you've successfully extracted the hard drive, it will be available in your mission items stash, which will lead us to part 3. Now you're going to need to infill on Ashka Island with that hard drive, because part 3 is asking you to drop the hard drive in the waterways dead drop on Ashka Island. Now there are 3 main entrances to the waterways, and they're all on pretty much the outskirts of the map. If you guys don't know where these entrances are by now, they're pretty easy to find, but you're going to make your way through the waterways. You're going to need to take out quite a bit of AI. You may even run across some juggernauts, but you need to make your way to the center of the waterways where you will see the submarine. Now, next to the submarine is going to be that dead drop. It's pretty easy to spot as it is a white dumpster. And of course, I will show you guys generally where you will see it on the map, even though it is underground. You will just take this hard drive there, drop it in the dead drop, and then this part and mission will be complete. Next up, we have Commanding Intel. This one is going to be a 3-parter. Part 1's asking you to complete a secure intel contract. Now, if you open up your TAC map and you're looking at the green phones, you're going to be looking for the one with the file on it with the question mark. If you guys go over and grab that, it will take you to a laptop location. Once you find the laptop, you will pull out the hard drive. You'll take that hard drive over to a radio tower. You'll climb up to the top and upload that intel. Once you've completed that, this contract will be done and part 1 will be complete. Now, part 2 is asking you to kill a commander. Now, if you've already done part 1 and secured that intel, it will either show you A, the location of the Juggernaut, or B, if the Juggernaut has already been located and or somebody's already taken him out, it will call in the Commander Helo. Now, you can choose to eliminate either one of those guys or the Chemist for part 2, but I definitely recommend the Jug, as you will see in part 3. It's kind of all tied together, and I do have a video over on the channel on the easiest way to take on the Jug if you guys are looking for a strat. Now, part 3 takes us to the Juggernaut itself, as you are going to have to extract a weapons case. In order to get the weapons case, you will have to obviously eliminate the Juggernaut, who drops the case itself, and then you will need to extract safely with it. Again, I do have a video over on the channel if you guys are looking for an easiest way to actually pull that off. But once you guys extract the weapons case, you've done the first 2 parts, this will be complete. Next up, we have Death from Above. This one's going to be a 2-parter, kind of similar to something we did in Season 1 as well. Part 1's asking you to buy a mortar strike from a shop. This is a little bit more annoying though, because you're not guaranteed these at a shop, but you could visit multiples in a single match. We'll just want to save up enough money. 12,000 is required to buy a single mortar strike, but if you are lucky enough to find the mortar strike in the buy station, definitely recommend buying more than one, because it's going to help you with the second part itself. If you guys are looking for an easy way to get money, complete a few contracts, you'll get more than enough. Just go visit each of the buy stations. One of them will have a mortar strike. For part 2, you're going to use mortar strikes to kill 8 enemies. Now, this is kind of the reason I was telling you for part 1 to purchase multiple. Once you have these in your inventory, the best spots to actually get these easiest would be the locations of the bomb sites. So if you guys are familiar with the Destroy Supplies contract, there are bomb sites located that usually are guarded by quite a few enemies. If you can actually find these bomb sites on your own and just mortar strike them, you should be able to get a good majority of the enemies in a single shot. It will probably take you more than one mortar strike to actually get the 8 eliminations, so that's why I recommended buying multiples. You can even get lucky enough to find these. Sometimes they have them in the supply drops and other places around the map. But once you get the 8 eliminations, this mission will be complete. Next up, we have Hostage Rescue. This one's pretty straightforward, and it's something, again, we did in Season 1. Part 1's asking you to complete a rescue hostage contract. Now, if you open up your TAC map and you're looking at the green phones, you can be looking for the one with the little handcuffs on it. You'll go over that and select it. It's going to take you to basically a stronghold-like building. It'll be something you have to unlock. It will be guarded with enemies inside, so you will want to clear out the enemies as quickly as possible, and you need to defuse the bomb that is on the hostage itself. Then you will grab that hostage, and you will basically carry them all the way to an exfil helicopter where you will place them down. Once you place them down and they fly off, this part will be complete. Now, part 2 pretty much goes along with part 1. It's asking you to exfil with the hostage evac helo. So basically, when you're doing part 1 and you choose to drop off the hostage in the helicopter, it gives you an option to stay inside the helicopter and you can actually exfil safely with the hostage. But once you exfil with the hostage, this mission will be complete. Next up, we have Smuggling Tunnels, and this one is going to be a 3-parter. Part 1 is asking you to locate the Smuggling Tunnels. Now, if you open up your TAC map, and you look in between Zarqwa Hydroelectric and the Al Mazrah City, you will notice there is a stronghold icon, and it's there each and every match. At this stronghold icon is exactly how you will access the Smuggling Tunnels. There is obviously more than one entrance, but if you get a stronghold keycard and go to that location, you should be able to find the stronghold door, which does have a ladder to down below into the tunnels. But once you get into this area, this part is going to be complete. Part 2 is asking you to place tactical cameras watching 2 of the entrances in one deployment. Now, the best way to go about this is to basically, again, grab that stronghold key card, whether you find one from killing enemies or you purchase one, go to the stronghold, clear the stronghold, go down into the tunnels, make sure you clear all of the tunnels, and then you're going to need, obviously, tactical cameras. So if you're playing solo, you'll need to infill with one, which I think is the easiest way to do it, and then find a second one, or just play with other people and have multiple people infill with them, as you will only need 2. It will count for both of the people doing this, just for you guys throwing them down. Now, once you've cleared out the tunnels and you do have your 2 tactical cameras, the first one I placed was going to be at the bottom of the ladder. If you enter through the stronghold itself and go down the ladder into the tunnels, you'll want to place your tactical camera facing that ladder, and you'll get 1 out of your 2. The second one is going to be the zipline location. If you're going to make your way through the tunnels, again, you probably cleared them all. I will try to show you the location on the map where this tunnel is with the zipline. You'll just, at the bottom of the zipline, place your second tactical camera facing that zipline, and this part will be complete. And the last part, part 3, is to extract in the same deployment. So once you've gone through, cleared all the tunnels, placed your 2 tactical cameras, now all you have to do is get out of the match successfully. Again, I do recommend hostage rescues, as it's a stealthy way to get out, and or even wait till the final exfil and look for those kill squads. But either way, get out of the match safely, and this mission will be complete. Next up, we have Pathfinder, and this one's going to be a 3-parter. Part 1's asking you to loot the GPS tracker from the dumpster dead drop in Zaya Observatory. So of course I will show you on the map where this is, but the good news is it is on the outskirts of the observatory, so you want to eliminate a ton of enemies to get there, and then you could just grab it and just take off and not have to deal with all of the hecticness of the observatory. Part 2 is going to have you travel to every POI in Al Mazrah while carrying the GPS tracker in one deployment. So you will need to take this GPS tracker to each and every one of the POIs. I definitely recommend, if you can get to the helicopter, grab the helicopter, as it's much easier to fly and much faster to go to each of the POIs that way. You might have to hit a couple of gas stations or even carry some gas cans in order to keep yourself afloat throughout the entire map, but it would be much easier to go via helicopter. Then the alternative is, of course, you can grab a vehicle and just drive to them, which is what I ended up doing. Once you've visited each of the 17 POIs, which is much easier to kind of follow a path so you make sure you don't miss any, you guys will have part 2 complete. Now, the third and final part to this is to extract the GPS tracker. So you've looted the GPS tracker, you've gone to all 17 POIs, all you have left to do is extract it. Now, I do want to mention for this part, it doesn't have to be in the same match that you visited all 17 POIs. So it is possible that maybe you do part 1 and 2, and you end up getting eliminated to something unfortunate. You can actually just jump into your next match, just go to the location at Zaya Observatory for the dead drop, grab that GPS tracker, and then just go and try to exfil again. All it's going to take is, once you've completed parts 1 and 2, is for you to grab it and extract with it. It doesn't have to be in the exact same run. Again, if you are worried about this, I always recommend taking a stealthy way to exfil, whether it's a hostage rescue or just waiting for a final exfil. But once you guys have completed this mission will be completed. Next up, we have our last and final mission, Train Tracks. This one is going to be a 3-parter. Part 1's asking you to take 9 tracking devices from the dead drop in Al Bagra Fortress. Of course, I will show you the location of the dead drop. Again, good news is it's kind of on the outskirts of Al Bagra, so you won't have to go all the way into the center or fight tons of enemies to get to it. But once you guys get your hands on the tracking devices from the dead drop, this part will be complete. Part 2 is asking you to navigate onto the cargo train in the same deployment. Now, don't get these things confused, because now there are 2 trains. One is a passenger train and it is green. The other one is the one that we've had and it is the cargo train. So you're going to be looking for the same train that we had last season, the flat one. It carries cargo. You're going to want to jump on this train basically or get near it, and the second part will be complete. And the last part is asking you to plant at least 5 of the 9 trackers on the cargo containers on the train. So once you guys are on the cargo train, basically just go from car to car. You'll see little wooden boxes and they'll have a queue for you to walk up to them and basically plant a charge. Plant 5 of those charges on the train and this part will be complete, wrapping up tier 2 of the White Lotus faction, unlocking tier 3. But that's going to wrap things up for us for our mission guide here. Thank you guys for all the support in today's video, all the support in the channel, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the next one. Peace.